New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
0.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Whoever what calls the interruption, 206-421-ROCK. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so here about a decade or so ago, I was working for a national pizza place that claims to have better ingredients and better pizza. And it was, right around the cusp where dispensaries were just coming around for recreational, but still wasn't really a thing. So I had my medical card. So I'd, go to the medical dispensaries and I'd stock up and make a little extra money on the side because those national pizza chains don't exactly pay very much. So I was at work one night, it was about closing time, and one of my fellow managers had come up to me and told me that her and her boyfriend, they kind of were needing some help with some bills and asked if I could, front them an ounce or something until they get back on their feet. And, of course, I said, no problem. So we go into the office, and her boyfriend follows me in there. And we bust out the scale. I break out the jar, and I weigh about an ounce or so. And, we're just BSing and just sitting there. And out of nowhere, the door busts open, and the brand new manager that was still trying to prove himself by working extra hours came in unexpectedly with the whole spread sitting out on the desk. Yeah. Probably about almost at least over a quarter pound of weed in the jar, plus whatever I'd weighed out for a guy in the bag. And it didn't turn out as pretty as we thought.
Does that mean that everyone in the room got fired?
I got fired. I'd gone up to him a couple days later. I said, hey, I know that there's going to be some consequences. I'm willing to face whatever those are. And he says, yeah, you're gone.
I think that's ridiculous for a couple of reasons. One, I assume anyone, and I mean anyone working in any capacity at a pizza joint, smokes a lot of weed. Or the restaurant industry. Right, well, anything involving food. But I'm saying pizza seems to lean a lot more weed heavy. If I have a sit-down restaurant, I expect a lot of cocaine among the bar. Okay. And the kitchen set, and there's weed in both places. Like, I get it, and in theory, the manager did the right thing, but it's like, that 100% of your employees are probably real stoned the entire time that they're working. Hell, I hired a guy once because he was a weed dealer. A guy named Bill. He was a good worker, too, but he had come in for a job interview. I sit down with him, and I liked the guy, but I realized that he was stoned when I'm talking to him, and I was like, let me ask you something, man. It's like, yeah. I'm like, are you high right now? And he's like, I am, man. I'm sorry. He's like, I'm going to be honest with you. He's like, I deal a little weed. I'm like, you're hired. When do you start? Because I said, everyone in this kitchen will buy for him. So this guy, we hired him. He'd bring in weed, 2-3 times a week. And I'm the exact opposite of that manager. Wait a minute, wait. You have that much weed. All right, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give you a raise, any shit you want, and I want to buy from you. Now, granted, I'm not a role model, but it just seems odd to me that in the pizza world, you're shocked that people have
That's
weed.
Your clientele.
Yes. I mean, it's the whole freaking thing, man.
Who or what calls the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Dylan. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola!
Hola!
So, my wife, actually my girlfriend at the time, got me a cat as a housewarming gift.
Did
when
you
I was
want
living
a cat?
in Reno.
Did you want a cat?
Oh, yeah, I was that. Yes, I wanted a cat.
Was it a one-eyed cat?
Actually, funny story. I do have a one-eyed cat right now.
Okay. I didn't know if you had a one-eyed cat in Reno.
Yeah.
So actually, this is a different cat. So she decides to get me a cat for a housewarming gift. So not knowing this, I decided to hook up with her in my bedroom, and not knowing my cat is right there, my cat decides to mistake my satchel for a ball of yarn.
Ooh. Oh, no.
That was no mistake.
So he sees something swinging, and he swings right for it, and I'm like, ah!
Oh! Got me. Did it only get one shot in?
Oh, it was a pretty big shot.
Cats are fast, man. Now, did it kill the mood, or did you just throw the cat out of the room?
Unfortunately, it killed the mood. I was like, you know what? No. I was already like 10 minutes in, and like, no.
I hear you, man. Years ago, same thing. Not a cat, it was a dog, and we're in the living room. This dog was so docile, a very large dog. I'm on top, and I feel something ice cold directly at the back door, and I realize the dog, smelling sex, just jammed his nose right up to my ass. And I mean, you don't know that that's about to happen. So I'm just like, what the? And it's like, because it feels like an ice cube, right? Then I'm looking at the dog, and this was a very sweet dog. And I was so mad at the dog. And I didn't really have to say anything, because the dog, while not understanding why I was upset, stared him down, understood that I was upset, and just kind of put it still between his legs and hobbled out of the room, because I'm like, I don't want to yell at him about this, but I'm like, I'm pissed. But the mood, there was nothing I could do. I did not want the mood to go away, but my penis was like, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm out. One dog knows I'm done. Man, we will not recover until tomorrow. Sucked.
Have you ever had anything interrupted as far as you going to an event, a sporting event, concerts? I think the biggest one.
I saw a streaker only once in my life. It was Orioles game. I was probably like 15, and it was just a dude. But what's funny is, nobody wants things interrupted that you're there to enjoy, right? Sporting event, concert, etc. But somehow, if you're a streaker and you can make it, he did not even get very far, but he got onto the field. Everyone cheers for you. Somehow, a naked person in the middle of a sporting event, like, you know what, I can support this.
Believe it or not, there used to be a ton of streakers at Camden Yards. I don't know what the deal was. Yeah. I don't know if it was the height of the wall, the accessibility to be able to get on the field from various.
That's what I saw.
There was a lot of different things, the factors that played into it.
Baseball seems like an easy sport to get on the field.
Also, you have to remember that if you're streaking in an Oriole game, maybe you're only streaking in front of about 10,000 people.
Right.
So it's not like you're streaking Fenway or anything where everybody can see your ass. But the biggest interruption was the Super Bowl when Beyonce and In Vogue blew the Destiny's Child blew the halftime the power at the halftime show. Well, it was a reunion. It'd been a while since they played. I couldn't remember who the hell reunited. I forgot who she was in.
No, I know.
I'm big on the Beyonce knowledge as far as her musical catalog goes, but it had to be an hour and a half. We sat there.
How long was it? Because it was weird because saw it on TV. So at least if you're watching it on TV, you're getting some kind of explanation or commentary. When we were at the Superdome, just one half of the dome's out, the other half's on, and the only thing we get are like the PA guy. And after like 20 minutes, he pops on because keep in mind, with no electricity, at least in half the building, they couldn't run credit cards. So they made the mistake, and I'm like, they go, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you bearing with us. Right now, all beer sales are suspended. I thought people were going to burn the Superdome down to the ground, man. And then they came back on within like 45 seconds. Like, beer sales have been reinstated. You got to use cash. And everyone's like, fine.
Here was another weird thing about this that no one really talks about. So that performance, the power that was needed for that show blew the generator, basically, in a large part of New Orleans. It was not just the Superdome. It was
really?
It's like a 2-block area on the outside of it. All right?
If you want to believe that, man.
So not only did that happen, but with the power gone, they blew up a ton of stuff inside the Superdome itself. Pyrotechnic standpoint.
Yeah, all the fireworks and all that crap.
Well, with the power cut, so did the ventilation system. It clears all that crap out.
Yeah, so it's just, we're in a smoke dome.
So even when they turned the lights on, man, we were in a cloud of just fumes.
And you could smell it. I mean, could not go anywhere. So I'm like, I'm sitting in the dark in a smoky dome.
The second half kickoff is in an indoor stadium. We've waited an hour and a half. The teams have re-warmed up. You could not see the ball in the air on the second half kickoff because it was in the smoke. I mean, from the seats. Maybe you could see it on television.
I guess. We could not.
We couldn't see it from where we were. It was
ridiculous.
It was crazy, but it was weird because it was such a big stage and such a big moment, and they weren't really announcing anything for the most part.
Not to us.
We're there, but no one's saying anything. Maybe they're giving information on television, but we're not hearing it.
Right. I mean, that's where the whole skit
Two Broke
came.
Girls.
Yeah, Two Broke Girls. Right. They just kept throwing it back to James.
And the bottom line was
James Brown.
As far as that stadium,
yes, Ted, I know.
That
Samantha guy, if you want to add that.
I forgot for a second.
It hadn't been upgraded yet, so there weren't TVs in the bathroom, TVs in the hallways. There was a small screen, maybe on each side of the end zones within the.
Yeah, it was amazing. You went out to get a beer.
That was it.
There was no audio. There's no video. I've never been in a stadium that did not have that much.
And it's packed.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl.
It's packed.
Well, dude, the worst one I've told you is, right, like, I love college football. Part of the main reason is the tailgating and then just the pomp and circumstance that goes around college football. So we go to Tennessee. It is, I mean, just obnoxious, hot, and humid all day, right? But this is awesome. 100 and some thousand people, like, blah, blah, blah. They're famous for their band comes out, and they form this giant T. The team runs through it. Right. The whole place goes crazy. We're walking up to the stadium. Bernie goes, Teddy, it's going to storm. Like, what? There's one cloud up there. I mean, the teams warm up. You got to evacuate the stadium because it's all aluminum benches. There's a massive thunderstorm coming. So same thing. It's kind of weird to have 100,000 people just kind of on the concourse.
Yeah.
But then we get back in there. There's only 2 times in 50 years they didn't run through the T.
Oh.
One of them was I was there. So I never seen them run through the T.
Does that mean you got to go back?
Oh, I'd go back to Knoxville in a second.
Okay. All right. Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Stefan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey.
Hola.
Hey.
Hola.
Hola. All right, so I got interrupted losing my virginity.
That's not good. Who interrupted you?
No, it was my mom.
And generally, as I recall, losing my virginity, there's not a real big window for you to interrupt.
What did she say? Get off me?
Oh.
I was trying to take a nap.
So I'm losing my virginity, and it's at a house party that my brother's throwing. Well, my mom walks in, drunker than a skunk, with 2 margaritas, 1 in each hand. And me and this girl, we're in the middle of coitus, and we both just freeze. My mom's standing there, and she goes, well, what are you kids doing? Let me see your hands. Make sure you're doing everything appropriate. So we just real slowly raise our hands, and then my mom sits down at the foot of the bed and proceeds to have a 15-minute conversation.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. What was she talking about?
It's so long ago, I can't remember, but I'm going to go with a bunch of nonsense.
So did your mom normally do the double fist drinking thing?
No.
She was just having a moment. She's just celebrating life.
It was just one of those times, you know, she would drink a beer or two here and there, but every once in a while she'd let go, you know, and this was one of those nights.
Does she still like to throw down a little bit, your mom?
No, she passed away a while ago.
Okay.
I knew that your mom had passed away as soon as Miles asked that question. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
In my mind,
I kind of knew it, too. As soon as I said, I was like, she's dead.
As soon as you asked, and I mean no disrespect, I'm like,
no,
I know this dude's mom was, and you realize the way the alternative universe works, she'd still be alive if Miles didn't ask.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That is true.
But she did like to party, you know. She was always a blast to hang out with.
Well, you guys must have known if your brother was bold enough to throw a party when she just went out and was like, oh, mom's on a good one tonight. We have time.
Oh, yeah. No, it was definitely that time.
How long did you last as a virgin? Like I said, if someone had walked in, it would be very unlikely you could have walked in on me during the act because it did not take long. I mean, there was probably 45 seconds that I would have been in the act.
Okay, let me ask you. Were you guys actually in the middle of it? In other words,
yes,
you were
I was, yes, right in the middle of everything.
So you actually did lose your virginity, but just weren't able to finish the movie, so to speak, right?
Well, the movie did finish later.
Okay. All right.
It's an intermission, the mom intermission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
All right. It's like the reel broke in the theater and they had to go back in and splice it.
I mean, not to be mean, but like that's the one time I'd have to yell at my mom, right? And not because I'm having sex. Mm-hmm. I'm saying if I'm losing my virginity, you've been waiting your entire life, whatever age you are, for this moment. Yeah. Like, Mom, I love you. You have got to go.
My mom
I've been waiting for this.
She interrupted my sex life for months. I had a girlfriend. I wasn't allowed to go out with her for like a month when she found out that I was having sex.
Now, how did that go down?
You know what? I think it was one of those things where my dad, for some reason, he either owed my mom money or I don't know. He never played child support. So
Right.
They're on the phone about something. But I talked to my dad previously, and he was just joking around like, hey, you're 16, you're driving, you getting in, you know.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, Dad, as a matter of fact, I am. So what's he do? He calls my mom and tells her.
Oh, God.
I mean, not within like 5 minutes. He has to call her right away. So then my mom calls my girlfriend's mother.
Oh, no. Oh,
now,
no.
I don't even want to show my face. I don't
Of course,
I don't even want to go over to the house. I used to go to the house all the time, hang out for the weekends, hang out with their brothers. We would just do our own thing. It's kind of, you know, I'd stay for dinner. Everything was fine. I'd leave. It was just a normal situation. We're like, yeah, boyfriend's coming over for a little bit, and we wouldn't even do anything. We just, you know, hang out together, spend the day on the lake. I'd go home, no big deal. Every once in a while, if we had some alone time, that was different. But for the most part, like, now everybody knows.
Everyone knows. Did your mom talk to you about
And that is a secret you really want to keep tight.
Especially at that age, man.
It's like winning the lottery.
Right.
You don't want anybody to know what has happened. Right. But you are so happy that it has.
Uh-huh.
That's also the age you just get interrupted all the time. Like, not sex, but doing something else.
Well, sure.
And I remember it's like a house party, but it's not a party. There's only like 10 or 12 of us there. And everybody knows I love pizza. But I remember I'm doing something for the first time with a girl.
All right.
And somebody kept knocking on the door, and they're like, dude, the pizza's here. And finally, it's like, she's like, we got to stop. Like, they're not going to stop knocking on the door. And it's just like, dude, you are killing me.
Oh, I told you, man, the first time, like, real life, real chick in front of me, and there's a party going on downstairs. And keep in mind, this is a party that involves, like, parents, family, all this. But they're downstairs. They're getting drunk. They're having a good time. And I go to my cousin's bedroom because he's all the way in the basement. He had been playing whatever game he's playing. He knew I liked this chick. He knew this chick liked me. He's like 3 years younger than me. And I remember I'm super excited because she's allowing me to unbutton her shirt. Right? And I just, guys, you understand what this moment's like, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I got like 3 buttons down. So there's some side boob, there's some bra. I don't know that I've ever been this erect in my life. And sure enough, stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. Mm-hmm. To this day, like 40 some years ago, man, to this day, I'm like, you know, I'm still pissed about you, because you knew what you were doing. It's like, oh, I knew what I was doing. I'm like, man, listen, this was a critical moment because it's the first time. You know what I mean? It's annoying if you've already been there, but like, this is my first voyage to anything like this. I could not believe how excited I was, and everything's working out for me. And then your ass shows up.
That's basically the same thing that happened to me. And you could see it in my face. I'm still pissed at that person.
You can't not be, because, like I said, if it's your first time and someone ruins that. And the thing is, he knew I wasn't going to tell anyone. He was going to tell my parents.
Right.
My uncle, my aunt, like, there's no one to tell. So I just stewed all night. Then it's one of those things that makes it worse. You know, kids aren't good at hiding anything, really. So my mom knows there's something wrong with me, and an otherwise very festive occasion. And she keeps bugging me. I mean, like, once every 20 minutes. Baby, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. You know, God damn it, man.
Not now, Mom.
I do not want to. I love your concern. I do not want to talk about this right now. I'm fine. Don't worry about my face.
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
I was about to see a boob, Mom.
That is
stupid ass cousin.
She's just being a mom.
She is, man.
She's like, what are you down about? I thought you liked your cousin.
And that's
like,
the thing.
I did until half an hour ago.
You know, and again, you can't say anything, so she thinks it's some deep thing. I'm not. It's not that I'm not talking to anyone. I'm just not talking to anyone about what the expression on my face is about. My mom loves me. Obviously, her son is so bent out of shape about something deeply is affecting him. And she just kept asking. And the whole time, I'm like, I was like 2 inches away from boob, but I can't tell you that.
I think it's the same thing with a fight. I remember me and my cousin getting in a fight, but same thing. It's like a holiday or something.
Right.
But again, we're stupid. We're kids. So they're just like, what is going on? And we just have this angry face, like staring at each other. And there's like dirt on my shirt. He's got like a cut on his arm. And it's like, what did you two do to each other?
Nothing. Actually, it is
nothing.
amazing.
We didn't finish it.
There was a guy years ago. A guy was breaking into my buddy's car. We catch this guy. There's 3 of us. This is like 2 o'clock in the morning. He worked at Kinko's, the graveyard shift. So we run out there, and the guy stole a case of beer that we had bought for ourselves. So my buddy Booker clocks this guy in the back of the head. The beer hits the ground, shatters. The guy's going to run away. When he starts to run away, he realizes me and my buddy Hollywood are standing there. Everyone dives on top of this guy. We crash down to the sidewalk. People are throwing haymakers. And then these 2 cops come out of nowhere, and I swear to God, they go, what are you guys doing? All 3 of us and the guy robbing the car at the same time. We're like, Nothing. Everybody at the same time. We got him in a headlock on the ground, bleeding. Nothing, man. Why? What's up?
Just playing.
Yeah, just good time.
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on impossible escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed.
You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
We head over to England. The UK Championship final suffered another brief interruption on Sunday evening. Having been disrupted by a ringing phone earlier in the day, the match between Luca Bressel and Zhao Xingtong was this time disturbed by someone in the crowd. Breaking wind. Fortunately, the offender chose his moment between shots, with Bressel walking around the table when the sound was heard. An extraordinary noise, guffed Eurosport commentator Philip Studd. The noise brought a chuckle out of both players, along with the crowd, at the York Barbican. I'm not sure what it was, but it didn't sound too healthy, the joke Neil folds. Bressel went on to win the frame to keep alive his hopes of a famous comeback as he cut Zhao's lead 7-4. Here's a little audio from that.
No, this is not that.
No.
The audio we have, this is a city council meeting.
Oh!
In Ohio.
Wrong fart. Oops. Sorry. Town meetings are usually drawn out affairs, but this one had a rare moment of levity when the mayor is asked if she would like to speak, only to be interrupted by a loud fart. Someone in the room lets her rip, and the flatulence is amplified by the microphone.
Madam President?
Yes.
I move to add the emergency clause.
Second, adding emergency clause. And discussion, Mayor? Would you like to...
Wait, it happens.
That's a first.
The agreement for architectural daylighting. Can't make this stuff up. We've been working on this with the state for literally months. It's been passed through the county.
There was another one. Yeah.
We'll wait. You know, long after we're gone, they're still going to be discussing.
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK. I guess they know who that was.
I guess.
Okay.
I mean, if it's that loud, I'd have to think you know.
Yes, of course you know. And it's just, if the first one slips out, I get it. Sometimes it just happens. But the second one was just egregious, man. Like, you know that's coming.
But that's where my respect comes in. It's like, look, you already know I'm gassy. I've already interrupted. I might as well get this bubble. Yeah,
I'm sticking with it.
Hello, Robert. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, boys.
Hola.
So my wife and I were interrupted trying to make a baby. It was our first baby, and we're trying to give it a shot. And we're practicing pretty much every day, every opportunity we get. I had to go to Arizona. I had a family member unfortunately pass away. So I was gone for about 4 days, but that was during whatever the phone app said was the best time to get pregnant. So I rushed back home. I take the Uber. I don't even tell her I land. I want to surprise her and enjoy the moment. I run upstairs. There she is, eating food. And so we start kissing and things are going to get ready. She leg sweeps me onto the bed. So I bounced on the bed knowing I just saw her eating on the bed. And she's jumping on top of me as I'm kind of up in the air still. Her body weight lands on me. I land on something. I start screaming, there's something in my back. There's something in my back. I need help. Get off of me. And I'm like, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? She's like, oh, my gosh, babe, the fork is in your back.
Oh, no.
Oh.
So it is my biggest pet peeve. Do not eat in the bed because she kind of leaves the mess there. And I accidentally sat on, knives and got small cuts before. But this time I had a fork completely in my back and she pulled it out. I was no longer in the mood and I went straight to work.
What was she eating?
She was eating steak. There was a knife in the bed.
She was eating steak in the bed?
She always does.
What is going on with?
I mean, most people do finger food in bed.
That's weird. You know that's weird, right?
Oh yeah, no. She'll eat a full meal in the bed. She'll have soup in the bed. I mean, whatever it is, if it's food, she eats it on the bed. She hates to sit at the table.
How long were you with her before you discovered this odd little quirk?
Actually, our first date was eating food on the bed.
So, does she still do this? Like every meal?
Not every meal, but if I'm not home, 100% every meal. If I am home, I try to force her to eat at least on the couch with the little dining table in front of us.
So she probably does not like going out to eat.
Yeah. I mean, Friday, if she's not cooking, we'll go out to eat.
Take out, bring it home, eat on the bed.
Yeah, exactly. Turn on Netflix and practice making babies.
So do you guys even eat dinner together? Do you eat in bed with her? Or are you like, dude, I'm going to eat out in the kitchen?
We eat together as often as we can. I'm a mobile tire guy, so my hours kind of vary. So sometimes I'm not home for dinner because I'm working. But every opportunity we get, we try to eat food together. Sometimes it's eating food on the bed.
Have you ever told her, well, that's odd you do that because I only have sex on dining room tables?
No, but I'll tell that to her when she comes home.
You probably don't even need one. You don't have one. I've never heard of anyone eating a steak in bed.
A steak?
This is the first time in my life, that I've ever heard of anyone doing that.
Only utensil that I've seen in bed is a spoon because someone's eating like ice cream or something. Right. Typically, if someone's eating in bed, like it's a finger food, something that's just hand to mouth. Not, I need a fork, knife, A1 steak sauce.
I feel like the only time I really eat in my bed is in a hotel.
Yeah, no, sure.
Okay, but you'll get room service. Right. But even with room service, I eat at the little counter area or the desk or whatever.
Well, generally, but I'm just saying, to me, it's like a crazy time. Like, ooh, look at me, I'm going to eat this turkey sandwich in the bed. That's a true story.
It used to be.
I've done that. When we took the kids to Toronto. If you have little kids, if they've never been to a hotel, understand they think it's very exciting. Also, pro tip, get them a separate room. Or get a bigger. We just didn't think about it. So they're like 5 feet away from us all the time. And they were younger, so it's like, oh my God. But we ordered room service one night, and we're like, hey, just eat in the bed. We don't care. They could not believe it. Like, this was the greatest moment of their life. Just mowing down cheeseburgers and soup while they lay in bed. And I'm like, they're so happy, but this cannot be habit forming. No. I was like, just when we get back home, this does not fly.
Well, growing up, it used to be one of the romantic things that you would do for your significant other.
Oh, yeah.
You would get up early, and then when they were asleep, you would come up, and there were trays.
Yeah.
That you could actually put into bed, and you'd have breakfast in bed.
Do you know anyone who's ever done that?
No one has ever made breakfast in bed for me, nor have I ever made breakfast.
No.
I made breakfast for people. They made breakfast for me. But I've never had breakfast in bed.
I've
never had
a meal. TV, but I've never known anyone who's like, hey, because it's always like the Mother's Day commercials, right? Mother's Day is come and gone, but like 50% of the commercials. So dad has gotten up early. He's hanging out with the kid, or pancakes. But right, they have that tray, which I don't own. They walk into the bedroom, and I'm like, does anyone actually do this?
I have never been a patient overnight in a hospital. I have been in the hospital many overnights with other people.
Right.
I've never been the patient. I've seen people eat in a hospital bed.
Sure, because they won't let you out.
I'm talking about a meal. I'm not talking about grabbing a handful of peanuts and some chocolate and going upstairs and watching some television, whatever it is. I'm talking about eating a full-blown meal in bed.
Never.
I have never done that in my life.
And I don't want it in my bed. Even if the kid said, we made your breakfast in bed, like, I'll meet you out in the kitchen. I'm not eating this here, man.
I mean, I'm not Bert and Ernie in it, man. The one little crumb that you get in your bed will annoy you all night long. I mean, if you don't sleep with clothes on. To me, that's...
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I've stayed at a hotel once for somebody's wedding, and the hotel was so nice, it had those trays.
Mm-hmm.
So then, the wedding was in the afternoon. I got back to my room. It was 10:30, and literally I was like, screw it. I'm putting on the robe, ordering a turkey sandwich and chips, and I'm going to sit here and eat it. Now, I will say, one of the most extravagant things I've ever done is eating a breakfast burrito in a hot tub.
Okay.
Well, look,
now,
but you got to be careful not to spill in the hot tub.
Were there other people in the hot tub with you?
Sure, one was Steve Miggs.
See, it seems a little hot. Like, I can't eat in the heat like that.
Were there any strangers in the hot tub? Would you pull that people you did not know were in the hot tub and you're like, hey, top of the morning?
No, it was one of those things. I think it was down there with the hockey guys, and it was like, there was Steve, one other guy, were sitting in the hot tub. We'd order these breakfast burritos. The other boys were playing a gambling game, and they were like, Dad, it's a little tough, but it's luxurious. And I'm like, screw it, I'm eating this burrito in the hot tub.
Hot tub burritos.
But breakfast burritos. I don't know why that's different.
You ever eaten food in the shower?
No.
I did start getting on the beer shower kick.
Yeah, well, shower beer, sure.
Shower beer. But you were going on and on and on about it. And I think it was like last summer. I'm just having a day. I'm like, I'm grabbing a beer, getting in the shower. I can't explain it. It was like by the time I got out of the shower, it's like I'm in a great mood.
Yeah.
Oh, especially
I chugged the beer, I'm clean.
Right, if you've done like yard work or got, and it's
hell yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe you played a sport with your buddy.
When you earn that damn thing.
Oh, that Saturday afternoon shower, man. Woo. You know it's going to be a good day, even if you're just moving to the couch.
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
Real quick, someone here says, the wife and I, we have those trays. I make her breakfast in bed on her birthday, and she makes me breakfast in bed on my birthday. What is the breakfast to eat? I'm just curious. Are we talking like syrupy stuff? Or are we talking scrambled eggs, bacon, or just like a bowl of cereal and toast?
My issue with breakfast is, generally if I'm making breakfast, it's kind of, to me, that's kind of like you got half an hour.
Right.
Get up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Right. I'm making
it might just be a drunk buddy that's passed out of my or slept over.
I'm making you breakfast.
Right, but whoever it is, that's like the fair warning, like, do you smell the bacon? Mm-hmm. Okay, we got half an hour, then I expect you to be up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as far as if you start making bacon or sausage, there's no way I can just sit there in bed, wait for it.
That's true. That will get me out of bed.
Like, hey, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. What do we got in there? All right, bacon.
It's the truth, though. I mean, look, when I was a kid, like, we ate a lot of cereal or, like, Incarnation instant breakfast.
Of course, yeah.
But right on Saturday, right, my mom would make Taylor's ham, and that was you just like, oh man, she's cooking. Let's
Saturday morning.
Did your parents ever make breakfast Monday through Friday?
No.
Yeah,
no.
But my mom always worked, so everybody's always in a hurry.
Look, I don't either. If I'm making breakfast, it is the weekend. Monday through Friday, like, grab a bowl of Cheerios.
Breakfast is made. The weekend is made for breakfast.
It really is,
in my mind. I have breakfast every Saturday and Sunday now. It's like one of the most. Yeah. It's one of the things I really look forward to.
Do you ever make them?
Hell no. I go get them before I play golf someplace. I normally just pull into a Denny's or one of those places.
I will say a Saturday, you have stuff to do, but it's not pressing.
Something.
Right? You're not going to like a sporting event at 1. It is kind of peaceful to just kind of scramble some eggs, cook some bacon, take your time.
I'm not even a brunch guy. I mean, I'm in there like 7:30.
Right.
I mean, I am in there early in the morning, and you look around and you realize like there's a lot of people in here. This is a different world because I'm not used to being up. I'm not used to I'm not used to eating that early.
Other than vacation, I never go out to eat breakfast, right? But last week I had a dentist appointment. It was super early. So by the time it's done, it's like, 8:30 in the morning. My wife and I are looking at each other, and I'm like, you want to grab breakfast? She's like, sure. And I can't explain. Without the kids, we sat down, and we're looking at each other like, this is great. It's just coffee and orange juice. And then I got corned beef hash. And look, it's the same crap I get every time. Like scrambled eggs, bacon, corned beef hash. I don't know what to say. I don't even know the last time I went out to have breakfast. Certainly not before work. And I came in a great mood. I haven't told Miles, I'm like, man, we went out and had breakfast this morning. It's the greatest thing in the world.
I have one buddy that doesn't live in the city, and every couple months we'll get together and do a breakfast before work. But you're right. Generally, if I'm at a breakfast restaurant, it's either a weekend or I have the day off.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Joe. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Joe.
Hola.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. My ordeal happened in 2010 when I was getting ready to head back to Iraq. I was getting it on, and my mom literally no knock at the door, no nothing, opened the door, made eye contact with me while I'm doing the deed, and was like, we have to head out soon for the airport. I was all right. She closed the door, and I finished off what we need to finish, and
We got to the airport, and I literally got to the airport just in time before the plane would take off.
So if you had masturbated just 30 seconds longer, you'd have missed the flight.
Oh, it got to the point where there was another person that was heading back to Iraq also, and he almost missed the flight also. We had to go through security. They walked us past everything and ran into the plane, and 18 hours later, we're in Kuwait.
I was going to say, that's the flight you don't want to miss. Right. Typically, there's a flight like maybe 2 hours from there, or 3 or 4. Right. Like, maybe you got to wait to go out the next morning, but that seems like one of like, oh, you really effed up on that.
I got to be on the flight, man.
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, David. Welcome to the midroom.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, so this one is not sex-oriented, which sounds like it's the theme of the day, but I was actually in the middle of a job interview one time over the phone, standing on my back deck, and my kids come running up to the sliding glass door, losing their minds. They're freaking the F out, yelling and screaming, telling me to come inside, help mommy, et cetera, right? So I'm sitting there telling them to go away because I'm in the middle of a job interview for a job that I really wanted. And about 20 minutes later, I get off the job interview. I go inside. My wife had dropped something behind the dresser and put her arm back there just past the elbow to get it. But by leaning up against the dresser, she was shoving the dresser into her arm and got her elbow stuck. So she couldn't get free. So she was stuck like this for half an hour with 3 little kids behind her screaming their bloody heads off. While I'm on a job interview, standing on my back deck over the phone.
What kind of mood is she in?
How mad is she at you?
Oh, no. First she's pissed, first off. But secondly, when she finally does get free, she's got a giant bruise right across her bicep that's about 3 inches tall the whole way across, all the way around her arm. So yeah, she was happy to be free, but even at that point, like, the circulation to her hand was gone, everything. But if she leaned back, she couldn't get her arm free. If she leaned forward, she pushed against the dresser and couldn't get it free. So she was stuck in a Chinese finger trap of a dresser.
Did you get the job?
I did.
Excellent. Good work, man.
Yeah, hey, man, at least it was worth that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a plus for sure.
Do you still have the same job?
No. Nope. Moved up since then.
Okay. All right. Either way, that's not a... I'd say, look, man, you know this is the job I've wanted. I've been waiting for this. Right. And you knew what time it was. You knew when I was supposed to take the phone call. They called me. I'm ready. I'm doing my thing. That's why I stepped outside.
Right.
So that you and the kids could do your thing. Like, you know where I am and what I'm doing. So hopefully...
I don't feel bad for her.
The problem is
money
the involved, probably.
You know what I mean? It's like one thing to get trapped. I'd be like, I'll wait. I understand what she's doing. But if my kids, especially when they're younger, behind me just yelling and doing all the stuff the kids do, I would lose my mind. Like, you guys got to shut up. Yep. You can get out of the room. Do not worry about it.
I wonder if that changed a little bit with everybody doing stuff over Zoom.
What do you mean?
Just like there were so many instances of like serious like news interviews and this and that.
Oh, the kids showing up.
And the kids just like walking in the room.
I don't think it's ever going to change, right? Because if kids are at a certain age, they're going to be where you are. Kids are always curious, so if they know you're talking to someone, it doesn't matter if you tell them, I'm talking to the President of the United States of America and the Pope, all right? This is an important call. I just need you to give me 10 minutes. They're not going to. It just doesn't matter. So as long as you Zoom, I'm telling you, if your kid, like, now I wouldn't worry about it because my kids don't care. They want to go play for video games or whatever. But when they were younger, there's nothing you can do other than lock the door. But even if you lock the door, Dad! So I would imagine if you're still doing the Zoom thing and you got kids, they're still showing up.
Some dogs do it too.
Like
my brother's dog, he'd be quiet all day. As soon as you got on the phone, he'd start going crazy.
Well, you think they can hear the voice?
I don't know. It just seemed like he hated the fact that you were on the phone. Like you're saying, like a kid. Like, it just seemed like he was just like, oh, wait, you're not going to pay attention to me at all?
Right.
It was just amazing. It's like, damn.
Yeah. Last time I flew, I'm waiting for a plane to come from Atlanta to Fort Walton in Florida.
All right.
And that's the plane I'm going to get on to fly to Atlanta, and then get on that flight where I accidentally opened up Twitter and fly back here to Seattle. But I have to wait for that flight to get there. It'll take about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. We'll start boarding again, and we'll head back off to Atlanta. Well, the flight is late. And it's touch and go. I'm like, all right, well, this is not a big deal. I'll still be able to make my connection. It's about 35 minutes late. Now it's 40 minutes late. Now the guy gets in. They speed us on this plane as quickly as we can.
Sure.
Get into land. It's about an hour flight. I do not make my connection. I have to wait another 3.5 hours. So this is just like, you've got to be kidding me. It turns out after I went to because I had to go, I went to the gate that I was supposed to be at for the connection. They had just shut the door.
Okay, all right.
So they said, look, this is not going to be this is not your gate for the next flight. They've changed your gate, your flight in 3 hours is in a completely different part of the airport. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I'm like, what the hell? They're like, we couldn't wait for you because they had to take an unruly passenger off the plane in Atlanta who was whatever the hell, an unruly passenger.
Right.
And that was what the delay was from.
Oh, God.
From Atlanta to get the plane in for us to leave. So one jamoke made me sit in an airport for another 3.5 hours.
And then freak out some girl that goes to Clemson.
He couldn't just sit down and just, take a goddamn hour flight. It's an hour flight.
Right.
It's an hour
That's
flight.
a quick flight.
Coming up, the return of Who Sucks Last. You are listening to Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick, they even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.